We fund police instead of healthcare. We fund police instead of education. And we fund police instead of justice.
You know, the fight against the police is just one small fight that is truly a planetary fight. It's a fight to hold what's truly sacred, which is our lives as living beings. I feel like I've spent so much of my organizing work tearing stuff down, getting rid of stuff, stopping things from happening, fighting against things. And I've been thinking a lot about what it means to vision abolition and like what it means to focus on the visioning. When the pandemic happened and when we were impacted by the lack of resources because we've spent so much money on policing and so much money on incarceration, I just kept thinking, what would the world need after so much sickness and death? What would the world need after months and months of police violence and uprisings? And I just felt like there's nothing like nourishment, like there's nothing like food and dirt. And so this labor of love, this art piece that's also a community garden, is called an abolitionist pod.
Here, girls. Here. So I actually grew food with my grandfather as a child, and that was just like such a pleasant memory to be with my grandfather in the garden. A lot of times when I'm growing and working in my garden, I call on my ancestors. I talk to my grandfather, I talk to my grandmother. They give me guidance. It's woven in us. It's a part of us. I think about, like, they say that on some of the slaves, they had seeds inside of their braids woven in there. As a community and as Black people, we don't have to depend on a grocery store. We can feed our family and we can feed our community. Day 2 of installation.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the sun is shining in. When I got to hear about the concept, you know, why they wanted to do it, what it was for, I was excited to be a part of it. My contribution was to find the plants, you know, and give them the expertise of how to grow them in there and for them to live and thrive there. And so I just did a call out, you know, looking on Instagram, finding connections of people, and I found maybe about 10 Black farmers and growers, and we were able to get all of the plants there, and they came in and actually planted everything.
It's a place where we get to dream and imagine and practice abolition in real time.
In through your nose and out through your mouth.
The pod itself actually holds 2,000 plants. So it has the capacity to feed hundreds of folks and yield food over 3, 4, 5 months' time. Our goal is to get 10 more pods built in this year and to get them out across LA County.
I remember when I started like stealing. I wasn't the kind of kid who walked out the door and my parents handed me a $20 bill. You know what I mean? We didn't have money like that. So we would go down to the grocery store and just take food. And somehow Mark Anthony and Patrice found out about it. And I remember thinking we were going to be in trouble. And the way that they talked to us about it was just unlike anything that I've ever experienced. Because, you know, we had these deep political excuses for why we were stealing food. Like, we're like, everything that corporate America has was stolen from people of color first, so we're stealing this food, you know? That was like our 15, 16-year-old political theory for getting reparations via taking nectarines from Ralph's. And and I remember the way they talked to us about it was like held the nuance of that, of like, you know, like fuck these companies and this whole business model, sure, but for the sake of you and your safety and your protection, like this is not good. And if y'all need food, let's talk about it and figure it out. We have these systems of punishment and revenge that are supposed to just scare people out of doing what they actually need to survive, which is eat. And that doesn't make sense. Actually, the goal is not to have a world with no stealing. The goal is to have a world with no hunger. That's the abolitionist goal.
An abolitionist world would truly embody the kind of dignity and respect and care and love we all deserved. And our systems would reflect that. Our systems would reflect so much more care and so much more grace. And so our job is to make that world possible. To not be afraid of the idea that one day we will live in a country and a world without police and prisons.